So I'm sure everyone has heard the news. There will be no DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. Which is so ironic, because literally one day before that, I made a short talking about DLC ideas. So here is exactly what A.G. Aonuma, the producer of the Legend of Zelda series, had to say about DLC. He states, "We have no plans to release additional content this time, but that is because we feel like we have done all we can do to create and play in that world. So this is why they have decided not to have DLC. They feel like they have added everything they can." Now, I think that's completely fair, because they did put a lot of work into this game. I mean, it took like 6 years to develop. And with the depths and the new temples and all the storyline and all the new abilities, it's really an amazing game. But I can still see more. They never really explained what happened to all the Sheikah, or the Divine Beasts and the shrines and towers. Let the players themselves put together what happened. And there are really unlimited possibilities that they can still add to this game. But if the Zelda team doesn't see anything else they can do, I trust them, and I'm ready to see what's next. So next, A.G. Aonuma says, "This time, the reason we decided to make a sequel to the previous game in the first place was because we thought it would be worth experiencing new ways to play in Hyrule. If such reasons arise, then we may return to the same world." Whether it's a sequel or a new work, I think it will be a completely new way to play, so I hope you will look forward to it. So, this shows some major information that we did not yet have before. Number one, it shows why they made this game a sequel to Breath of the Wild. They clearly saw more they could do in that world of Hyrule. And now it tells us that they could return for another game in this world of Hyrule, if they find the same reasons they found to do with making Tears of the Kingdom. So maybe they will come back to this, and see that they have more they need to do before we move to a different world. Or maybe they'll start another world from scratch with a totally new Zelda game, with new characters and everything. I'm down to see either one, they both sound amazing. The other thing he says is either direction they go, it will be a new way to play, and still be different enough. So if they do choose to do another Zelda game in the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom world, I guess kind of Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors world again too, then it will be different. And I think this will be a huge relief to some people, because I've heard some mixed reviews on Tears of the Kingdom. They said it's too similar to Breath of the Wild, and it gives the same format of the world. And another thing I want to bring up is totally from me, not anything that anyone said, so it probably won't come true. But Breath of the Wild was released in 2017, and 2 years after that, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was released in 2020, which showed an alternate universe of the Breath of the Wild universe. And I think what they could do, instead of doing DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, they could cram all of those ideas into a Hyrule Warriors-like game. Tears of the Kingdom started as a DLC idea for Breath of the Wild, and it became too big and became its own game. So if they do make it into a Hyrule Warriors-like game, maybe they'll finally explain what happened to the Sheikah and the events between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Because you gotta remember, there was maybe like 6 years that passed between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Alright, and lastly, this week is a Nintendo Direct. In fact, at the time we're recording this, it is tomorrow. I really wanted to make this video last week, but I've been busy with school, so I apologize that if you were watching this video after the Direct. I think it's safe to say we won't be getting any Tears of the Kingdom content in this Direct. It has been confirmed we won't be getting any DLC for it, but that does not mean there won't be any Zelda content at all. In fact, it was rumored by someone who has predicted things right before that Zelda is actually not done with 2023, and they aren't talking about Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's very unlikely they announce a brand new Zelda game in this Direct, but if they did, that would be pretty cool. But it hasn't even been a year since Tears of the Kingdom released, so I think it's unlikely, so don't expect that. However, I do think it is a possibility if we get some sort of old Zelda game on the Switch, like they did with Skyward Sword, maybe Wind Waker or Ocarina of Time. Again, this is all speculation, don't get your hopes up too high. Let me know down in the comments what you enjoy most about Tears of the Kingdom, and also what your predictions are for the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Take care, everyone.